Hi. Yesterday we explored symmetry by asking what remains the same when something is transformed. Today, I want to turn that question around. How much can one small change alter the shape of something? Think about a familiar U-shaped parabola. You know, the kind of curve that you might see when a ball is tossed through the air. We can change one small part of the equation behind that curve and make the parabola taller and narrower. Another small change makes it wider and flatter. A different change moves the entire curve to the right or left. And placing a single negative sign in front of the equation turns the whole shape upside down. Now, on one hand, this is basic math, and it may seem routine and not interesting. But when you take a step back, I find that in some ways, this really is remarkable. The changes within the equation may look small, a number, a sign, or a symbol, but they can transform the entire shape that appears. There is not just one parabola, there is an entire family of parabolas. And this is one of the beautiful connections between algebra and geometry. Algebra communicates through numbers and symbols. Geometry communicates through lines, curves, and shapes. They may appear to be two different languages, but a graph allows them to speak to one another. The equation tells us what is happening beneath the surface. The graph allows us to see the result. Without the graph, it may be easy to overlook the importance of one small change. But once we see the shape, its effect becomes obvious. We can play with different parts of this equation and literally see the family members emerge, all with different shapes. I wonder if something similar happens outside of math. In his book, Creativity, Inc., Pixar co-founder Ed Catmull describes the table that they use for important meetings. It was long, narrow, and large enough to seat everyone. In one sense, it served its purpose perfectly. But its shape was influencing the conversation in a subtle but very real way. The leaders typically sat near the middle where they could easily see and speak with one another. But people with less authority sat towards the ends, further from the center of the discussion. Now, nobody had deliberately decided that the people at the ends were less important. Yet, the shape of the table communicated that message. And Catmull finally recognized the problem after attending a meeting around a smaller square table. Eye contact was easier, the conversation flowed more naturally, and everyone felt closer to the center. So, Pixar replaced the long table with a square one. Now, the people had not changed. The purpose of the meeting had not changed. But changing the shape of the table helped change the shape of the conversation. And I find this example powerful because the table seemed like a neutral object. Yet beneath the surface, it was influencing who felt important, who felt included, and who felt free to speak. Sometimes the structures shaping our relationships are so familiar that we no longer notice them. Who sits at the center? Who is pushed toward the edge? And what might change if we gave everyone a place where they could be seen, heard, and most importantly, valued?